I wanted to say one thing because, I'm addicted to your show. I don't know if you're aware of that. I don't know if you've been getting my shadowing.
No, that's why you're here. This is the 300th episode, Andy Kindler, and this is you were one of the guys. I honestly wanted you here because you're a peer, you're a friend, and you're a very vocal fan of the show. And I know people that love the show, but I'm very flattered that you like it so much.
It changed my life, and I'm not just saying this. You have promised me 14 future appearances.
Yeah, no, this is part one. This is like the old days when people did Carson. Depending on how well you do with this one, I might have you on next week.
Does that mean that after the interview that I might walk over to your area and sit next to you?
I might give you an okay.
Then I just leave the garage.
Yeah, you just walk out the garage, and as you're walking by, if I look at you, that's good. But if I give you an okay and a smile, you're probably coming back next week.
What if this really is how you're starting to be 2 weeks from now? But you have no idea that there's no separation between. I'm like Johnny Carson now. I give a wave to the comics.
It's all the comics think is the most important thing. It's going to launch your career.
And then everybody will say how they felt the first time they came in the garage. I'll never forget when he took off the headphones.
And I couldn't tell whether he liked me or not. But surprisingly, a week later, his booker called me. How did this show change your life? Seriously?
Oh, no, because I remember very clearly emailing you. I was very, I wasn't like depressed. I don't get like super depressed. But, why do I sound defensive about that?
You're having a conversation with yourself right now.
Yeah, I don't get super, hey look, why are you saying I get too depressed?
I didn't say you did.
No, but I know people have a real depression.
But let's go on a Jewish scale. Mild depression.
No. I think I have every 2 weeks. I'm going to run out of money and be poor.
I don't know if that's depression. I think that's a reasonable reaction.
That's true.
I don't know if you can medicate that. What are you going to take medicine and go, I don't care if I run out of money?
Okay, so what you're saying is should start to address the actual core issues.
which apparently aren't that deep.
Yeah.
You can find out your core issues with your ATM card.
Every 30 days, I seem to get a tug in my stomach.
Is it tied to anything in the mail?
Seems to be tied to my profession. Is what as far as I can trace it back. It's like you're like, okay, at the end of the year you go, all right, well, what's going to happen next year?
Yeah.
I just thought the train was going to keep going.
Yeah.
And then, but then when your show came on, I wasn't aware of anything of podcasting things.
Yeah.
And the thing about it was because, and I remember the early shows, early on when you started the show, you didn't start the show like, hey, I'm excited about this.
Yeah.
It was it was a man, it was a man going through the motions.
A man, spiraling down.
And yeah, when you scheduled me, you didn't see me hopping on it.
Yeah.
Either. I gotta clear my schedule. So I was probably annoying you about that.
No.
But then when I heard it, I was like, wow, there's things that you can do. What I was attracted to on the dream of the radio when I was a kid.
Right. Who was your guy in the radio?
Well, but now when I think back now, I don't think I ever really had people. I don't think I really had what it is that's happening now because I had Top 40 radio and I didn't really get into other stuff, but there's memories I've had of different shows or just the experience of listening.
Yeah, radio is great because it keeps you company. And like in your car, and sometimes when your dad's driving the car, you listen to the radio.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there's a guy on there that's like, hey, do you like that one? And you're like, yeah, I did, a little bit.
Well, and then the fact that, because I was fairly early on, you're talking about visiting your mother.
Yeah.
And that, just the whole, the thing is, it was, almost, it was life-changing for me, but it was also very emotional because you were in the same, I felt like we were, it's not like I'm unhappy that you're getting more success now because I need you to be exactly that person that you were. But I would appreciate it if you would go out of your way to mess up a couple of things.
I think the stage is set for that. But yeah, I have more things and bigger things to mess up now. I think the stakes are higher. I think this, deciding that like he's got everything going on now and he must be happy. No, I'm not happy. I'm paralyzed with fear and I have the biggest opportunities in my life ahead of me. So there's a real good chance this show could get better than it ever was for the same reason it was good to begin with.
Right, but exactly, but you also can't. I can't expect it to be what it was. I mean, the thing about your mother, you visited her in Arizona,
Florida.
throwing the food.
In Florida, right? My brother's in Arizona.
Yeah, so you go there, and about the throwing the food away.
Yeah,
and I just could get that feeling of where you're somewhere, and why is the discussion about it, and why is that person, your family member, obsessed with having to throw the food away?
Yeah.
Or there's no, and I don't know. It just really was able. I had never heard anything like that.
Yeah.
You know?
And it's weird because, like, before the show, we were okay. You know, we had difficult times before, but, you know, we became much closer before the show. Because of this show, you and I have become very good friends.
I think that's true.
I do, too.
I do. But I also think that even when we were having problems, we were enjoying ourselves.
Yeah, no, definitely. But I think that's one of the great benefits of the show is that you and I became good friends.
Oh man!
Seriously, aren't you
cool.
happy about it?
Oh, I'm thrilled about it.
Because every time we hang out, we have a blast. We can have lunch, and then we get exhausted, and then we have to take a break for a few months.
And we do enjoy making ourselves. Is this a sexual thing?
No.
Now, if you need me to do any impression of any, because the last time I did the impression, I forgot to say, "What's wrong with me? What's wrong with me?" I didn't say that.
That's my impression. That's
and
me.
Then I also love, and I like to time how long it takes you to get tired of the what the fucking nicks.
Yeah.
And you know, it's like with the first one now, you're already at it, and that's what makes it so nice to me. I enjoy when you go, what the fucking nicks, what the hookah chockles, all right, that's enough of those. But then every 3 or 4 weeks, you'll come in with a new one. What the fucking Mohicans.
And then we're back.
What the moccasins.
Yeah, we're back. We're in it.
And here's my other favorite one. Look, folks, we all have to mail letters. I mean, come on. Let's not kid ourselves. They won't get mailed themselves. Do you want to stand in the 12-hour line? Boom. Here's a letter from a lady who did the thing. Dear Mark, I loved it. I never thought I would use a stamp. Now I can exercise freely, knowing that my stamps go out on their own. And then the other one is like, look, folks, we all like dirty things. You don't have to don't think you have to buy a contraption. It's not all about burrowing in or unscrewing out. The condom sale is always surefire. Even my most straight-laced customers
need condoms.
They need condoms. All right? You think I want to break in? Well, I have to do it.
Okay, that's good. But when we talk about the show, like, because you're a guy like me, you know, we love comedy. And I know that, you have certain feelings about comedians, and you know almost all the same guys I know. But what's your experience of actually, listening to some of these guys for an hour? Which of the ones were the ones where you're like, oh my God, I had no idea?
This is what's fascinating, because sometimes it's like, what you hear deepens your appreciation of the person, and you get to see them in a way that
right.
is like, but then, for example, on the negative side, like Ferguson, after like an hour, I was like, okay, this guy has a thing about, nothing's a problem, nothing's, what's going on, who's on the show tonight, Craig? Don't know. It's not my thing to be involved with what I'm doing. I don't want. So, would you like the Late Show? No, that's not about. I see that people have walls.
Yes.
Like Dan Cook, his thing was to present a performance to you, and then so that was fascinating to see that.
Yeah, and I was cranky that day too.
Yeah.
Like, I got a lot of mail from people going like, I don't even like him, and you were a dick.
Oh, I know, because that's also because you never know how you're going to be. Because sometimes, like, I like the other week when you were like, these abstract painters, or these are the performance artists.
Yeah.
Well, these are legitimate art forms. If they want that as a blurb on their next project, I'm willing to put that out there. These are people who are doing things, folks. And I've come after many, many years of not having any peripheral vision because I couldn't see outside of myself, that there are people out there doing things. Especially the performance artists here, because we're not going out for the same things.
Right, exactly. I thought that was a big revelation for me.
But that's the thing. It's like when you went to visit Carrot Top, when you go to see a Carrot Top.
Yeah, a Carrot Top.
In this business. When you go and you make an appointment, and then, it was a Charlie Varicole. It's like, you could tell the whole tension there and, what's going on, and there was some, that's fascinating to me.
Is it fascinating to you because of show business or just in general?
Well, okay, this
Because you know these guys. I mean, you know Charlie, don't you?
I knew Charlie, but not that well. But here's the thing: there's on the totally positive side, on the not like Sigmund. Well, I'm not a big Sigmund Freud fan. On not the Carl Jung side, like I'm getting into his collective unconscious. The nuts and bolts, like when I heard Stephen Wright talk about how he feels about stand up.
Yeah,
that was so inspiring to me because that was like he said something that made me like. He said, I can if I don't do it for like a month. I start to, and I go out there, I feel like weird, like, isn't this a weird thing? I always relate to people who have the same feelings I had. So in the listening to people in the same profession thing, I could literally listen to that all year.
It's wild, right? And like when I do it, I feel the same way when I'm doing it. Like I can't, like when I'm sitting here, if Stephen writes, I'm nervous coming over. I don't know if I'm going to be able to talk to him because I don't really have a lot to ask him. I just hope that the conversation flows. And with a guy like that, you're like, I don't know, can he even talk like a regular person? And he was such a sweet guy and he was laughing. He's laughing his ass off. Every time he laughed, he's sitting right where you are. He'd laugh. He'd pull away from the mic and put his hand over his face. And I'm like, no, people need to know
that you're enjoying yourself.
You're laughing.
But that was so insightful. And of course, the stuff that you've had a first-hand view of, like the Comedy Store stuff, and when you had the Carla Bow thing was great. But there was another comic you had,
Jimmy Schubert.
So great. Come on, that Jimmy Schubert thing. I don't even have to play it back yet. I have it in my head.
Yeah.
Every single part of that story, the motorcycle and the walking up and seeing Pryor.
Yeah.
And them telling him, don't act a certain way when you're around the famous people.
Yeah. Ozzy Osbourne. Yeah.
So that.
Do you know Jimmy?
I do know Jimmy.
Yeah.
I've always, and that's a guy like that. I didn't know that well.
Right. Yeah, that's
and,
the thing that I feel. It's like we all know each other, kinda.
Right.
And like, cause I don't know anybody that well. I mean, we're all busy, worrying about ourselves and trying to hold on somehow. I mean, who the hell hangs out with anybody? Do you know anybody that hangs out with anybody? You go to the club, you hang out, maybe you work on the road. But aside from that, I don't know what anyone's doing. I assume they're sleeping or crying.
Well, that's what the thing is. It's a way to check in.
Right.
But that's where the relating to it comes in.
Okay, so let's see. I'm gonna throw some quick impressions. Like, I want some quick reviews.
Yeah, you got it.
Episode 40, Dave Attell.
Attell was great. You went to see him in a hotel by the pool.
Yeah.
And that was first of all, he's like a guy like you feel like is someone like you never get to see him or something
Ever.
like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Like an elusive nocturnal animal.
He's losing. It's like I always thought when I first met Dave Attell. First of all, Sarah Silverman told me about it, and I was very jealous of him immediately. I don't know what it was. I was not even aware of all the jealousies. I was like, what is this Dave Attell that they're all... That's not the best way to go see comics.
Yeah.
Oh, what's so great about this Dave Attell? But of course he was funny the first time I saw him.
Yeah.
He said, let's turn the microphone to funny. So he was great from the beginning.
Yeah.
But oh my God, I just think he's so brilliant. But I always thought of him as like hanging out with everybody, but I think he's more of a loner.
Yeah, no,
so for him to be perked up with you,
Yeah.
and you were talking about making albums or something.
His father in the tuxedo shop.
And
he's like a person.
So that was great.
I was stunned. For me, like that was like some people consider certain episodes breakthroughs, but for me to sit and talk to David, who I'd known for 20 years and never had a 10-minute conversation with, for him during the day to sit and focus for an hour, I was like, oh my God, this is amazing.
He was perked up. He was perked up. It was like he was into the exchange.
Yeah, he really showed up for that. How about the Carlos Mencia ones?
The Carlos Mencia ones were like that was like watching two Goodfellas back to back. I mean, the first one, and also the one there
was that... He's a guy that you've had, I mean, you would have very sort of, and as would any comic, a very specific reaction to.
Yeah, my thing with him is like, oh, I'm the bad guy because I said the terrible, horrible thing? Oh, I'm wrong because I said something disgusting.
And I took that.
Yeah, let me get this straight. Just because I said something truly horrible about another race or people, that's wrong now?
What about the stealing thing?
Well, I didn't know. See, the thing is, with the stealing thing is like, I never knew, and then when they got into, the problem with the whole stealing thing was when it first came out, the joke they were talking about, I get very uncomfortable, because I almost feel like those things are like, we know or we don't know, and we're not in the court of law.
Right.
But the thing where when you had the other people on, when you made it into that miniseries, we had other people come on.
People who knew him for years.
Because the first time you kind of concluded, your first image of him was, people are jealous of what you do.
Right.
That was your overriding thing on the first one.
I brought him in here only because, I wanted to know what it was like to be so hated. I had no idea the backstory of him. I didn't didn't prepare, didn't do any research.
That's the other thing you do, though, too, is that you do a good thing the thing is, where you are not here to sandbag people.
No.
I mean, obviously you tried to provoke Gallagher, but,
no,
you did not, though. I'm sorry.
I'm actually genuinely happy. Did you watch him on Letterman the other night?
It was so great.
But you know what was great about it? Is that the first segment, he was funny. And he was talking about himself. They were bonding around heart attacks. He was doing the thing on my podcast that he said you shouldn't do, which is talk about yourself and be funny. And it was at that moment I realized, he was put together. He had his hair done, and he was being funny in the way that he's funny. I mean, he's clearly, a funny guy. He wouldn't have been as big as he was. But then the second segment, it was like, oh, here we go. Now we're going off the rails. And then, by the time he put on that prop, it was why'd you even do that? If Gallagher were to go out and do a completely autobiographical show about his struggles, that was written and funny, it would be mind-blowing.
Yeah, but that wouldn't be Gallagher, though.
No, I know, but he doesn't possess that type of self-awareness.
That's the thing that's amazing, is that when you were talking to him, you were not sandbagging him, but you got genuinely upset.
I did.
And what you were getting upset about, which was totally fine, because the thing was, but he didn't have an answer, and the reason why he doesn't have an answer is, it's just like Jeff Dunham.
Yeah.
It's like you can say, or Lampanelli. I know people like Lampanelli. I know.
Did you listen to that one?
What was
the
that?
Lampanelli one?
I did. It was very hard for me to get through.
Okay.
That was one where I couldn't overcome my actual dislike of the person.
The humanity was not going to work on you?
No. I mean, and there were other people like, I love listening to I mean, here's the thing. I guess it's like I have a negative, to me, like Carrot Top is not calling people spics.
Yeah.
So I'm not as,
So that bothers you.
That bothered me, and the thing is that, but the thing with Gallagher was, he wasn't taking responsibility. He was like he has these very extreme views.
Yeah.
But he's trying to hide that he doesn't.
Right.
And the thing is, he does, because I remember him years ago, I'll never forget this, he was doing some bit, and he said something about something, and he said, you people are upset. You need a spokesman. Like he thought he was the spokesperson for the blue collar people.
Good. Well, now he's on a Geico commercial, so he's a spokesman for somebody.
It was Richard Lewis. That was amazing, because I remember when the guy rides him back, the club owner rides him back to the apartment.
Yeah.
He sold out, had the greatest show of all time, and the guy wouldn't give it up for him.
Yeah.
Because he was afraid that Richard would ask for more money the next year.
Yeah.
Isn't that what it was?
Yes.
Yeah. It's like, it really went well. I said, we'll see.
Yeah. Yeah. I love that because, he had a big effect on me when I was younger, because I used to watch Letterman at the beginning. And I was a Woody Allen fan. And my initial thing with Richard was this guy's doing a very sort of hyper Woody Allen. And then as I saw him more, you realize they just come from the same region.
Yeah.
And he's just equally as neurotic, if not more, but it was genuine.
Yes.
And and then after a while you would watch him do the panel thing. I always built my sense of when I was on Conan and I became a panel guest, it was because of Richard Lewis, because I did Conan twice stand up, and then I'm like, how do I get to be, your Richard Lewis?
Yeah.
I want to sit down because Richard Lewis used to sit down.
That's really cool.
And then I was doing it, and when I met him, I was so lucky. He's the only guest in the history of WTF that required a car, because he doesn't like driving. It makes him panicky. And then there was always part of me with Richard Lewis was you resolve none of this? I mean, but nothing's better, but he's really, and I'd forgotten when he came over here, it was early. He was still a little tired, 11 in the morning. And just sitting with him, at this age, he is so fucking funny. He's so fucking fast. His brain, it's like you, it's always working these problems, the joke problem.
It's interesting what you say, too, because I really believe that he is the embodiment of what Woody Allen would have been had he stayed a stand-up. Because to me, I feel there's no comparison between the Woody Allen stand-up and the classic movies. To me, right. I think they're great. I mean, maybe if I'd seen him live, but the stand-up is more it's clever and there's funny stuff to it, but it's almost funnier when it's in Annie Hall, And
but
it's I shouldn't really even it's not even to put Woody Allen down, but I just felt like Richard Lewis was doing what
he's a real comic.
What the movies were like.
I think
on
that
the panel.
In looking at the history of things, I think that Woody Allen couldn't wait to stop doing comedy.
Yeah, except if you saw that documentary, you saw how great he was when he would go on for a while he was going on all these talk shows
No,
and
he's
just
great.
ad-libbing.
How about when he went on the Oscars a few years ago?
That was great, too, yeah.
Like, it was almost like time had stopped.
I couldn't see him, though, because I play the lanes every Monday. I don't watch the Academy Awards. I always play the lanes. Play clarinet.
Yeah, sure you do.
I choose to play an instrument that I will never be truly great at.
The difference between Richard and Woody Allen is I don't think Woody Allen is as fucked up as his character. And I think Richard Lewis is just as fucked up as his character.
Some people have problems with Woody Allen's private life.
Yeah, that's what I hear. I hear he's
I start crying if people talk about it too long.
You do?
Yeah,
because you don't want to think about it?
I really don't. I really don't want to not. I don't want to not like the movies. I don't want.
Well, I don't know that you have to. I'm not sure.
I'll never not like those movies.
Of course, I don't. But where do you stand on that?
Even if he was Hitler. If it turns out he was Hitler.
Yeah.
If Hitler made Annie Hall, I would still like Annie Hall.
I think, and I don't have any problem with that point of view.
Right, but it's a little bit. I think I'm maybe pulling it. Yeah, because they always said about Picasso, he wasn't very nice. I can't get into the backstory with everybody.
Well, no, but even if you get into the backstory, I mean, I read Please Kill Me, and Lou Reed, that is never going to be the same for me. But I'm still going to listen to Velvet Underground. I mean, it's like, what do we expect that artist? Okay, maybe Woody Allen did some things that were bad and dubious and not necessarily wholesome. But there's one part of me that says, yeah, that's awful. But does that erase his body of work? No. And also, does it make him any less a comic? No, it makes him more a comic. It's like, that's the weird thing about comics. I mean, you stay in this world long enough, there's very little you're not going to see, and there's very little you're not going to hear about. So there's at some point, like, when you hear something shitty, you're like, it's a fucking artist guy. You know what I mean? Can I dismiss it like that? I mean, because people have said, why do you, like, women have written me emails saying, why do you give Woody Allen a pass? I'm like, I don't know.
It's not because because the thing is, you don't give it. People, when they go to that point, they go, are you then saying that it was okay to do this specific act?
No.
You're saying you're justifying that. No, but you're just saying it's not black and white and, But, one thing I was going to say, a very seminal thing was when you had Tom Sharpling on. Because Tom Sharpling, then when you had saved my life, then I found Sharpling. And the way I found Sharpling was on your show. When he talked about how he came up to you after shows, and then you did and when you did that show where you said, "What, you gonna end up working in a record store or someplace?" Yeah, and so that turned me into Sharpling, and that became another savior. And then the best combo, of you two.
Yeah, you like that?
Oh, come on. It's the best. That should be available piped in instead of elevator music. That doesn't sound right.
No, we got to do more of those.
But it wasn't anything with Sharpling. What he does is he makes me laugh at people who I love. Like, I love Jim Morrison in The Doors. I never realized he was fucked up until Sharpling when Sharpling starts describing these people and he takes them down. I could still like The Dead. I love The Dead, but he'll take them down and you can't help but laugh.
Really? He makes you laugh at the Grateful Dead?
Yes, he hates, he goes nuts on Jim Morrison, like about how upset must the rest of the band members be every time he'd show up to the session. Oh, look at Jim. Not ready. Or he doesn't like Tom, or how much he doesn't like Tom Waits.
He hates Tom Waits. He's something. So I turned you on to Sharpling.
I had never listened to his show yet, and I felt it helped. Not that I wouldn't have loved it, but the fact that he talked about how he was influenced by these guys who said, get off my phone, and all that stuff. That made me like, because the more I listened, I had written him an email early on saying, like, just almost like too long an email about how much I love what he did. And I realized later on that it's his person is really him, but there's still
it's like
when he goes right Mike, when he goes right Mike, I just love that.
Have you done a show?
No, but because I haven't been in the Jersey, but I'm up. I think I might call in. We've been
you should call.
We're in
in
negotiations. No, he's the sweetest guy. I had lunch with him out here.
He's another guy that I don't think I would have met.
Never.
If it weren't for this show.
And you had a whole thing with him. Like, remember? Because I have the same thing, like, too. Like, why are they loving this? Like you said, there was a whole group of people loved his thing. And they were like, well, what's happening over there?
Yeah.
And that was another great show when the guys from, was it Besser?
Yeah, Matt Besser.
All those three things were great. Of your perception of what it was like over at the UCB.
Right.
And what their perception was.
Right. Yeah, like, because they were just happy to be part of something, and I was the one going like, oh.
Yeah, oh, you're going to put your little monkey costume on tonight? What are you going to be? You're going to be the princess, and he's going to be a Rapunzel? What is it going to be?
Rapunzel? Are you doing the Rapunzel bit?
Yeah, what are you guys going to do tonight? What fake setup in the audience is going to prompt hilarity for you guys?
Did you listen to the Paul Krasner one?
I did listen to Paul Krasner. That was great because I didn't know that he came up with the term yippies.
Yeah. And that would only be important to a certain generation of people. Like, there's, like, a lot of times I talk to people and I realize, like, how am I going to get 25-year-olds interested? Who's going to care? But, like, those guys are so important to me. I drove to Desert Hot Springs, to do the Paul Krasner thing. And, like, when I drove out there, I was completely, I was all sort of like, oh, he's going to get great stories about Lenny Bruce. But then you realize it's like, no, he just wants to talk about Paul Krasner.
Right. Yeah, I know. That's true. Because he does not going to give up that thread going through.
No, and no one really does. There's very few people that will be like, I'm going to take my time to talk about this other guy.
Right.
Joe Rogan?
I'm afraid of him. I don't want him to punch me.
Conan O'Brien?
That was really great.
Yeah.
Because that was also around the same time when all the stuff was happening.
Oh, after, but he was like, I was very thrilled with that one too because you really got to see like he's very hard on himself and he's a deep guy. I like him. Jimmy Fallon? Well,
I have issues with Jimmy Fallon.
All right, okay.
But wait. Now let me ask you a question though.
Yeah.
When you say that, see, here's the problem with life. We're supposed to be loosey goosey now.
Yeah.
We say anything we want. And we don't care anymore.
But this is like I'm really just looking for things that where you were like.
Oh, okay. You don't want necessarily my hard edge take on it.
No, I like there are moments where because I've had the moments when I talk to these people where my entire disposition or attitude about them changes because I find I didn't really know them as people.
I would say this: he seems to be a person on guard. I didn't learn a lot about him,
but he's a friendly guy and he's a fun guy.
Friendly guy. Yeah.
But how about the Todd Hansen?
That was maybe the. I Facebook messaged him after that. I'm not saying like that, like, hey, I went the whole route.
Yeah.
No, but that just tore me. It tore me apart because the thing that was so fascinating about that was that when he was saying, like, he would say how sad he was.
Yeah.
And then his friends he was able to communicate how he saw how his friends would drag them down, but he just couldn't change it.
Yeah,
and I never really quite got that insight before into somebody. And how about the fact that you have a recording of him yelling from the live? Because you talked about how
that's
you said what's wrong with being
sad.
Sad,
yeah.
and you went woo.
Sometimes it's not about the funny. Sometimes it's about the sad. Yeah, and he went woo. That's right. What about the Todd Glass thing? Did that surprise you?
Unbelievable. That was
Did it surprise you though? I mean, you've known him as long as I have.
Here's the thing. To be totally honest, I've been sleeping with Todd since the 40s. No, I had maybe heard Todd is like so beloved, but maybe I've heard somebody every once in a while. I don't ever know when anyone's gay. I don't think Paul Lynde was gay. I think Richard Simmons is a confirmed bachelor. I still don't understand.
Confirmed.
You
bachelor.
could be you could order pan-seared sea scallops. Right in front of me. And the only thing about Todd Glass that hurt me not hurt me, was that I felt that I was more hesitant to, within a comfortable environment, use the gay thing.
Right. Yeah, he was pretty into that.
Yeah. So whenever I will want to say that, where I think it's where obviously you're not, it's not a 14-year-old kid.
Yeah.
So you're just saying whatever the thing is.
Yeah.
Like Nick Swartz and I have this running bit about, does this word sound gay? And the word is sea biscuit, and they no, it doesn't sound gay. So with it, like Swartzen does a bit about how I'll come up with a different word when a better word comes up for it. So, so he made me a little. But that's good that but that's not like I'm a raging homophobic guy behind closed doors.
Right. How about the Jeffrey Tambor? Do you like that?
I didn't listen to that one.
Okay,
he's a Scientologist.
And not anymore.
He's not anymore?
No.
I love, though, that the thing that you are slightly hurt that I missed a couple of shows.
No, but what do you want from me? I thought, this was all about me and you listen to everything.
You're not upset, you're disappointed in me.
Did you listen to the Rick Shapiro one?
That was amazing. Okay. Now there's a guy, here's a perfect example.
Yeah.
That may have been the greatest thing I've ever heard. And I know I'm guilty of hyperbole. In fact, I do a joke that doesn't work, which said, I had the greatest weekend a couple weekends ago, life-changing experience. I went to a hyperbole convention. And that's it. The joke's over.
Yeah.
People want more.
Yeah.
I didn't know what to make of him. I'd seen him in Amsterdam and met him at Rotterdam Festival, and he was like one of those guys where when you don't know someone well, you kind of like draw certain conclusions, but that are ready to be filled in later. But it was like, you put people into the Jim from Taxi category or whatever. Sure. And so I didn't know what to make of him, even when I saw his act.
Yeah.
But when I heard him on your show, I just thought he was, first of all, brilliant.
Yeah.
And secondly of all, when he would stop on a dime and look at how hurt he was.
Yeah.
And then he made you look at your behavior.
Yeah.
Because you did say to him something like, you're doing that. It seems so innocuous when you said it.
Right. But he's so sensitive.
And so that I thought was like, and also, again, learning things about the New York scene.
Right.
That I didn't know, which was really kind of good when you did the guy who claimed that Tony Clifton's still alive.
Yeah, Bob Zamuda.
But that was great, but you can't stop with him, though.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, at certain points, you're like,
come on.
I felt like, look, I don't want to hear about the gangster guy with okay, so he said, and he left, and there was one muffin left. Was that the idea?
Yeah.
And I'll take that muffin. It just seemed like when he left that bakery, everyone was like naked and had been violated and stuff like that. Take off your thing and then so...
But I don't know. It was he's a good storyteller, that guy.
He is a good storyteller. But you ever see Slums of Beverly Hills?
Yeah.
And when he recounts about finding out the guy stole the steak.
Yeah.
It's sad.
But okay, so like in conclusion here on the 300th episode, I am thrilled that my show has had such a profound effect on you, and flattered that you think so much of it.
You know what's so hard about it in a way? It's like I realize now that it's hard. Like I don't feel like I can't be myself. But I also feel like when I come on, I don't want to fuck it up.
No, you're not going to fuck it up.
You know what I mean, though? It's like, I just feel like it's like when I used to do Dr. Katz. I'll give you an example. I used to do Dr. Katz.
Yeah.
It was very hard.
Yeah.
Not to get into the rhythm of Jonathan Katz.
Yeah.
So that's the thing. I don't want to become like, I don't want to be trying to be, interjecting. And that's one of the things I think was the most spiritual thing that you said that I don't think you remember saying, because I pointed out at the party, was you said that you were getting better at not caring about what you thought about the thing. And that's an amazing lesson to learn. It's kind of liberating to know that even your own idea of what you're doing, you can even let that go.
You have to.
You know?
Yeah, it's harder with stand-up. But, when, you're talking to people that other people revere or might not know or have an impression of or I've never heard before like that, like my needs have to be secondary. I wish I could do that with more of my life. And I think that's the big trick of the whole spirituality thing.
Yeah, if you can make it. Yeah. Well, I assume that you're that way all the time. I have to say one more thing. Yeah. Is that the one that I thought should win a what is it?
Peabody?
Was the one when you went with the comedian in Texas.
Oh, yeah, Lucas Melendez. The Alamo.
And that started what I think is probably 75% of your pre-show conversation is about barbecue.
Yeah.
I told him not to get the hot. He went to get the hot.
Yeah.
And so that was amazing because that was almost like an NPR with comedy thing. You were interviewing people at that. It was the Alamo, and then you went out to some kind of celebration.
Yeah, conjunto music. Yeah.
And you could hear what was happening with the Alamo guy in real time.
Yeah.
Whereas I put the camera away.
Yeah.
And Lucas was amazing.
He's a sweet guy.
Yeah. So.
Well, I'm so happy that we're friends and that you enjoy the show so much. I don't think anyone enjoys it. That in my circle, you've always been very supportive and shared your love of the show, and I appreciate that.
I appreciate you. I appreciate it too, and I'm very thankful for our friendship. I really am. And the thing is, it's good that you have rather in the old days where I go, oh, that guy's coming around. No, no, it's just good. You have this thing going on, and I am literally able to be excited about it without getting into the envy thing, so I can enjoy it.
That's another level of.
That's another level, and not just not lip service.
Yeah. Thanks, Andy.
You got it, brother.
What the fuck?
That was the amazing Andy Kindler, whom I love. I will tell you that right now. And as we close this 300th episode, I just want to thank all of you for listening to the show. I want to thank all of my guests for, allowing me to talk to them and allowing me to talk to them as people, and thank them for giving their time and part of their lives to this show. And also, I want to thank everybody that's involved in any way with making this show happen. You know who you are. I've learned a lot from all of you who are listening. I've learned a lot from all of my guests in a very deep and real way. This show has had a profound effect on me, and I can't really illustrate that enough. I will keep doing it. I will keep learning about you, and I keep learning about myself through my guests and through just my day-to-day life. I think this is a sort of maybe we can end on this email maybe. What the psychological fuck? Question. Dear Mark, originally I was going to compose an email regarding circumcision due to a conversation I had recently with a friend, but I've decided against it since you probably receive those sorts of emails all the time. There's so much fucking shit going through my head. I have no idea what to write or where to start. Okay, I have a few questions. 1, do you believe you would have a better or normal relationship with food if your mother hadn't suffered from an eating disorder? Yes, of course. 2, do you believe you'll ever reach a point in your life when you are completely satisfied with what you see in the mirror? Yes, not completely, but it does happen sometimes. Thank you for asking. 3, have you ever been or are you currently afraid of Jessica leaving you? Yes, I am currently and usually afraid of anybody leaving me, even if they just hang out in the garage for an hour. 4, after reading the previous question, did you doubt your relationship with Jessica? Yes, but no more than usual. It comes and goes all day long, every day. 5, are you truly yourself on your podcast, or is the Mark Hurd a persona? It's Mark on the microphone. I talk a little quicker. I talk from a different place in my guts because I'm on a microphone, but it's pretty much me. Do you emphasize emotional sincerity? As much as I can handle emotional sincerity, yes. I do, but it's frightening for me. And that's, an ongoing thing. If you listen, you know. 6, do you believe that the majority of comedians grew up in difficult environments? I think many of them did, yes. And I think that the show is a testimony to that. Not all of them. Mark, you're exceedingly swell, though are you able to accept and believe compliments? Sarah, I'm working on it. I do appreciate that one. And I appreciate, again, everything that's happened here. Hold on. I'm going to open the door. Boomy. Dude, it's the 300th episode. Boomer. Hey, buddy. Hey, Boomy. All right. I guess we'll just have to wait till the 400th on this.
What were you expecting coming over here?
Coming to this place?
Yeah.
You and I have reached, personally with you, we've reached a little bit more of a, what's that called?
Understanding?
An understanding, an equilibrium, where it's not necessarily immediately you attacking me.
Yeah.
So I driving up the hill,
Yeah.
I felt a little bit Orson Wellesian. I was like, oh, I'm going to the fucking cat ranch. And,
Yeah.
I pictured you sitting in the throne and the cats are just meowing at your feet. Vanquished foe skulls and that sort of thing.
Peter, come in.
I mean, this is your turf.
Yeah,
it's badass.
Petting 2 large cats.
Yeah. They're the cats from
Right.
Ghostbusters.
Mm-hmm.
But, I mean, I didn't know it would be this gorgeous. It's a gorgeous house.
Thank you.
And this welcoming,
Yeah.
I will say.
Oh, thank you.
Not that I thought maybe it would be like, here, like, you ready to do this, fucker? Or something like that.
Yeah.
It's been a delight.
Too early for that.
It is too early for that. But that's what's fun about...
Did you say it's been a delight?
Which
It's
part?
been a delight?
I did say it's been a
thank
delight.
you.
It has been a delight.
It has been a delight. I think that the day that Boomer comes back in here and meows might just sync up with the day where I have complete self-acceptance and am completely able to deal with life on its own terms. Boomer, you better not come in. I just prophesied something that I'm not prepared to deal with yet. Thanks, you guys.